So great question, and I actually can help you answer this question while recording and having conversation a little bit about talking about from pieces of my presentation.
Okay.
So, I love it. Okay, so, that's already published. Uh, so yeah, this is perfect. I put this in my chat so you can legitimately answer this questions after. See how you feel. Um, okay, so one of the things that I had changed about this presentation, which was a lot of what we did during PL Day, and I retuned it just a little bit, um, because there were some things I wanted to focus on really. So I took a lot of other stuff out, and so I was focusing in on data sources. Data sources was like the key place, and I know that you know
Mm-hmm.
all the data sources.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a matter of how the teachers are using that information.
Right.
Um, and I know that they know how to do this too. Now, my first ponderings. You have a smaller group of algebra students this year than you do most other years, right?
We do. We went down to 2 teachers.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
and that's I
And
think. Oh, hang on one second.
An orange She Kills Monsters ticket to the auditorium now. Please release students with an orange ticket for She Kills Monsters to the auditorium now. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a higher number of kids who are taking algebra at the middle school level now. Um, so yes, we do have less students taking algebra, but
so,
the
good.
gap at where they are is so drastic now. I feel like because so many of the higher performing kids already took it in middle school, so the gaps in knowledge for the kids who are taking it now are pretty drastic.
Do we have map data to show where those gap areas are? Not that the teachers can't figure that out themselves, but do we have any map data for that too?
We do have
Because
map data. We
we
do have
do
map
have the
data.
domain. We do have great. We do have the domain data too, right?
We do.
Um, okay. Which I
And
did.
I have pulled map and looked at the like instructional one, that the report directly from NWEA, not
Mhm.
we don't have it, none of our data feeds into graphs anymore. Only K8 does, which I think is a challenge.
Mm.
Because you do have to go, it's much more individual, like because yeah, so that they stopped feeding the high school data because it's not necessarily required for most grade levels. So we don't have any of the APS graphs reports anymore for MAP. We only have the NWEA reports
Oh, so they stopped doing the map school-wide comparisons for high school?
for high school.
Mm. Oh, I thought I saw that. I just thought it was in a different place. Um, how, to what degree do teachers use the SLDS files and student? Oh, I forgot to take that out. I want to use that.
I would say SLDS is probably not used super holistically unless it's a special ed student. Our students really, I mean, our teachers really use the data profile on APS graphs, the individual data profile. And we actually did like data talks individually with our kids the week of Halloween. Every single student got their data profile and they did like a data talk and reflection individually with their second period teachers. Um,
Was this the Midtown specific?
yeah, it was Midtown. Yeah.
Okay.
It was something that the admin team had talked about at the like summer leadership retreat, and we
Okay.
implemented it after quarter 1, and we'll do it again after quarter 3.
Okay.
So they use the data profile, the 1-page data profile in APS graphs quite a bit. And then, we still have formative, so they will use formative data as well. But I think teachers haven't been trained a whole ton on like NWEA reports in a while. And because we've had
Okay.
APS graphs, and now that APS graphs is gone, they don't necessarily have the know-how to use that NWEA reports at the teacher level.
Okay. APS. So it seems like
And I feel like like even since I've been trained on an NWEA, the reports have changed so much, so it's a lot more like digging than it used to be.
and it is good. That is good information, especially in the
100,
beginning.
it
But now
is.
since they're only going to do beginning of the year. So I mean that's the plan. It seems that they're only going
Yeah,
to do beginning of the year. It's only great
right,
for the beginning of the year, and then after that, it's all the
yeah,
formative assessments, right?
right,
But then
exactly.
even before that, they can use that SLDS information to ground in how the mastery and the growth, or how the mastery and the where they're starting out in NWEA in the year, where how they can rectify that. And I think you said it in the very beginning as articulately as you possibly can. It does really need to be a student by student case in this situation.
Yeah.
How many are within the locus of the way you were talking about how to disaggregate them based on whether when they need like heavy counselor input or other whatever? How much is in the locus of control of the teachers?
Um, about 23.
Okay, and how
So it
many of
is,
them?
yeah,
Huh?
it is a small number, and that would be divided-ish between the majority between two teachers, and then Mr. Bass has a couple and Miss Uzoka has a couple.
Oh, okay.
But the majority of them are split evenly between the two main algebra teachers.
And how many that are in support? I'm assuming all.
Yeah. Like, well, not every single one, because some of our special ed students, they would be
In the small group.
in the small group, and then we have a few that are in foundations. But 90% of them are in support.
So pretty much everyone else is not in those groups.
Mhm.
So right now do you so I did tell Dr. Ogden that I was going to come and observe what it is that he did in the classroom. And I've not had a chance to, but what have you seen what he's doing? Is it just
Yeah.
Delta Math? Is it just like
Yeah, no,
asynchronous
he's
work?
not doing just Delta Math. So he starts out the class with like we've in algebra PLC, we're identifying kind of whole group what they're not getting, which is like the polynomials, making sure that they know perfect squares. Like we've identified 3 or 4 like hot button topics that they're just not getting. And so he'll do more of like a mini lesson in the beginning of class. And then he'll break out so that they're working on Delta Math. But I would like to do, and I met with Ogden last week, and I met with the PLC, the algebra PLC yesterday, um, to kind of break it up into 3 so that they're getting, a whole group, something that's everybody needs.
To the High
Hang on.
Museum, please
We have a lot going on today.
Going to the High Museum, please
When
head
do
to
you
the
not?
cafeteria. There is a list, teachers, that was just sent out. Thank you.
The whole group, like small group?
Small group, and then, a third one. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry. I thought it was the main office and then it transferred over to a parent when I answered the phone.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah. So that and like I said, we met with I met with the Algebra PLC yesterday too. And we are gonna try to use IXL as well for some of these kiddos because they have the video instructions and there's different tools that IXL can use that Miss Uzoka modeled yesterday that I think would be helpful for them.
What what was the third group? You said whole group, small group, and the more is it more individualized?
And then individual, right?
Has anybody else suggested something else that might be helpful?
What do you mean?
Um, uh, another approach to address the student needs.
I would love to hear what's working in other schools.
Okay. I also want to check to see, and actually I can